Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, listen, subscribe. Thanks everybody that showed up to our live stream for the VP presidential debate. Also catch us every Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's when we have our recap of the week and we discuss things. What's going on in the world right now. Before we get on to the debate, I want to talk about Iran has fired missiles at Israel in retaliation against their current bombing of Lebanon. Sirens blare across Israel and loud booms were heard late Tuesday after Iran launched a missile attack on the country. The Israeli military said its missile defense system carried out a large number of interceptions, and the U.S. defense officials said the United States intercepted some of the missiles to help defend Israel. After about 45 minutes, the Israel Defense Force said it was safe for people across Israel to leave shelters. Spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said the military did not identify any additional aerial threats from Iran. Hagari said that while a few of the Iranian weapons did land and an assessment were ongoing, the IDF was not aware of any casualties. Now, from what I saw on X, they did some damage. They did a lot of damage. They took out the airport, they took out the Air Force, all their jets.
Really?
Yeah, they blew them all. They blew them up. They got a lot of. They took out the Air Force air base. They showed the pictures of it. They hit a lot of military targets. They hit Mossad's building where he was at. They hit a lot of targets. I mean, I watched
Mossad is like their secret service kind of. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so I won't say secret service. Excuse me. It's like their CIA.
They showed the video. Like, one thing you can do, the news out here can tell you what they want to tell you, but that's only one good thing about X. You will see everything on Twitter. I'm not going to call it that. On Twitter, they're showing the missiles dropping. They're showing all the missiles they fired. They show the ones getting intercepted. They show where they landed. They showed the people in the bunkers screaming and crying.
I saw some videos. People just like recorded like it was just regular stuff going on. You know what I mean? Walking around like it was regular. And I say here it says at least one person was killed. I've also heard other reports of like upwards of 8 people being killed. I think the biggest concern about this right now is Iran had to do this. I mean, you've already attacked them. You've already killed an official within their country. I mean, whether you want to call him a terrorist or not,
he was in their country.
In their country. You know, I mean, you didn't do it in Qatar. You didn't do it in Turkey. You didn't do it anywhere else. And so you're trying to provoke them to war. Also, you know, you've been striking Hezbollah, which is their proxy, which Iran can't really sit back and say, hey, you can't attack Hezbollah or Houthis because that would be saying that these guys are working for me, you know. But at the same time, Iran has to do something. You know, they can't be a big brother and not fight for the little brothers who they have out there at the same, you know. And so America, that's just a major concern because just like the other day when you showed me the clip of the guy who was representing 58 Arab and Muslim countries.
I think it was 57 Arab and Muslim countries at the UN Assembly. He said, hey, look, we'll have peace with Israel. It can be a state with a 2-state solution for Israel and Palestine. He was like, that is our end game. He's like, ask Israel what theirs is. Because right now they're not going to tell you one. There's just to start endless war after endless war after endless war. And this, I told you, that's what he said. And this is the response to all that. They're like, what do you want to do? Do you want peace? They didn't say nothing. So they're like, all right, so you want war. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Iran really doesn't want an all-out war with Israel because it's gonna be regime change. That's what Israel is looking for. I think that they're trying to get it all wrapped up and done. Someone's told them, hey, you need to get this wrapped up and done either before the election or before the new administration comes into power, because this isn't what's going to be going on after this, because they basically paid for this to be able to do what they're doing. People think that Israel is just, oh, we're going to do what we want. But in reality, they came in under the cloud of our presidential election, not just the presidential election, but the House being elected, everybody running for office right now. And they just like they went out and they took out what was his name? Cori Bush, and then the other guy over in New York. They spent all that money.
And the gentleman in Oregon, yeah.
And so people when you're running for president, you need House members, you need senators to be able to even have an administration, to be able to even govern. You need these people. So you and actually and running for president, you're going to need them too, because they give a lot of money. If they gave $25 million, I forget the guy's name, over in New York, for a primary, to beat him in a primary. They gave $15 million to beat Cori Bush over in St. Louis in a primary. Imagine what they're going to give for the general. They don't have to give as much for the general for those people, because they know the Democrats going to win that district, so they don't have to give as much. But you spent a lot of money to make sure you're getting pro-Israeli people in office. And so I think that they've done a lot of what they're doing just under the cloud of our presidential election. I think after it's done, it's like, okay, you know what, man, we can't have any more of this. Period. I think if it was a Joe Biden presidency, or if it was a Trump presidency, me personally, I feel like they wouldn't care. I don't think Trump's really too much. You're calling Chuck Schumer a Palestinian. You're almost degrading what being a Palestinian means.
Well, I mean, that's a horrible thing too. And when he first said it, I was like, if I was Palestinian American and I lived in America and I hear him say that, like, damn, that's like calling me the N-word.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like calling somebody else, you're acting like a black person. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much, you're acting like a black person. Exactly. That's pretty much what you don't think a person who would say that about a Jewish senator from a Jewish senator from New York who's been pro-Israeli his whole. I mean, you're Jewish. I mean, not only top of that, he's been pro-Israel his entire career. Now you're calling him like a negative word. You're saying he's a Palestinian, using that as a negative term towards him. You think that he wouldn't say something like that?
Yeah.
About you? You know what I mean? Like, it's like when I'm around people and they're talking about another race of people, and I'm like, man, you know what? If I know you're going to talk about them, what do you think you're going to talk about me when I leave? What are you going to say about me when I turn my back? And so, yeah, this has been, I think they told them they're supposed to be 240 missiles shot, ballistic missiles shot in all. I mean, in a total. I'm like, how do you know how many missiles are going to be shot? They knew before they even ran down. So somebody must have told them, hey, we're going to shoot about, just like the last time, they were like, we're going to shoot about 180 missiles at you guys. You figure out how to blow them up if you can. They don't really want the problem with Israel, because they understand that Israel, their army's like 5 times as big as Israel. It's way bigger than Israel.
But Israel has the U.S. on their back. So that's the
West,
whole thing.
Man, the entire West, I mean, but especially us, funding them, giving them weapons, doing whatever. And they understand that if this goes into an all-out war, which Israel wants it to, I mean, you blow up the Iranian consulate in Syria. You've done everything you could to say, I mean, this is not proven. This is not fact. It's just my opinion. And that's not to say it's true, just an opinion of mine. I believe they killed the president of Iran. Me personally, if you look at, I don't believe in coincidence, man. Look at the context of everything that's going on. You know what I mean? You right after he spoke with the UN Council, as soon as Netanyahu left off the stage, after everyone walked out on him, pretty much most people, 80% of the crowd walked out on him. He gave the order, and they killed him. I think his name Nasrallah or something like that. He was the Hezbollah leader. That's not an accident for you knowing where he was. You knew where you knew where to get to the.
And they got him quick too.
Real quick. You knew where to get to Hayani. You knew where to get to the second in command of Hezbollah. Like the next morning, you basically killed him. I mean, come on, man. You kill the Iranian president, defense minister, that's not an accident. They're not going into a cloud and dying. Something happened, man. Somebody on that plane either blew up the plane. Something happened, man. And Iran just can't say anything about it. They can't come out and say, hey, you did this, because then their country's going to say either you guys can't fight back. So why should we listen to you?
It could have been an explosive device like other people were saying, you know what I'm saying? But
a pager. Could have been a pager.